Hello, everyone, and welcome to another installment of our CapeSpace Connection series. I am your host, Haley Cote, the community manager for CapeSpace Mashpee. And today I have with me a Mashpee member, Casey Howe. Hi, Casey. How are you?
Hey Haley, how you doing?
Good, good. So good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thanks for doing this. Glad we could have you
Absolutely.
here. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Casey, can I ask where are you? Looks like you're on the road this morning.
I am. Yeah, I'm actually in Taunton today. We had I had some work out here in Taunton. I'm on the road a lot, but yeah, happy to do it. And Zoom allows you to do a lot of things we couldn't do before, so that's good.
Right, yeah, that's the beauty of it. Yeah, so you ready to dive right in?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. So, Casey, tell us about your business, about what it is you do.
Absolutely. So yeah, so my company PMI Plymouth, it's actually a franchise location of PMI. PMI stands for
Mhm,
Property Management Inc.
mhm.
And there's about 250 locations nationwide. We handle leasing and rental services and property management for landlords that rent apartments out to tenants. So we do a lot of work with residents and marketing properties and collecting rent and fixing maintenance issues and all those types of things.
And how long have you been involved with doing that?
So we've been I've been the owner of this location, this franchise for 3 years.
Hmm.
The PMI corporate has been around since 2008. So we're one of the
Okay.
newer franchisees, but also one of the fastest growing, which we're proud of.
Oh, awesome. And Casey, what got you into this field? What do you love about the work you do?
Yeah, so it's funny. I was in software sales for a long time, so
Hmm.
completely unrelated field. And I was living out in San Francisco with my wife and then 1 year old, and we just decided we wanted to move back east where we're from, and I decided I wanted to start my own company and not and kind of get out of the corporate world. And so I looked around at a
Hmm.
lot of different options, and the one that seemed to make most sense was starting a property management business. And like I said, it's a franchise, so got a lot of help and training and such like that from corporate, and it's just been really good to us. It's been a fun adventure for the last few years.
Oh, awesome. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
So, Casey, how have you had to adapt professionally during this whole COVID era we've been living in?
Yeah, I think it's been tough on everybody, right?
Mhm.
Our business is a very hands-on business. When, your toilet breaks, you can't fix that through Zoom, right? You've got to go out to the property or send someone out to the property. And so, with us, it's all about keeping our residents safe and keeping our staff safe. And so, what that means is a lot of personal protective equipment. It means gloves, it means masks, it means making sure that no one's sick when we're going in an apartment or sending one of our contractors into an apartment. And so there's been a lot of those things that we've had to think about that we didn't have to think about before. And then, from another big part of what we do is rent collection. And, unfortunately, the pandemic has created a tough situation for a lot of people financially. And so, we've got to manage through some of that stuff. I think we've been really good about working with tenants and sort of being on the same team as them and helping them apply for funding if they have financial challenges and things like that. But it's certainly been a challenge, I think, for everybody.
Absolutely. Where do you see kind of the future of that industry going too? I guess looking forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think as it relates to COVID or just in general?
I guess both, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think in a funny way, just on the COVID side of things, I think we'll probably always be more aware of disease prevention.
Mm.
I don't know, even once the vaccine is out, it seems like people are so used to wearing masks and such now that, if we're going into an apartment and, especially maybe even during flu season, probably makes sense to wear a mask, right? And just,
Mhm.
try to stop the transmission of disease and
Mhm.
keep residents safe. I think just in terms of the property management business in general, I think in an interesting way, COVID has actually made us more efficient. And
Mhm.
so, we do a lot of rent collection online, for example. So we're not, collecting cash and things like that. That requires person to person interaction.
Mhm.
There's a lot of communications that we have are via text or email, or just there's a lot of things that we've done to tighten up our operating model in our business that helps us serve residents better, and those things won't go away when COVID goes away. So I think
Mm.
in a way it's made us better.
Mm-hmm. Wow, well, that's great. So Casey, so you've been a Mashpee member for about, what has it been now? A few months now, but
Yeah,
so how would you
I love
say?
it.
Oh, awesome. I know, I love having you. So what would you
Yeah.
say has been the best part of being at CapeSpace? How has it improved your work life, would you say?
Yeah, for sure. So it's been awesome. I can't say enough good things about Cape Space. Our our main office is in Plymouth, so we have an office in Plymouth,
Mhm.
and that's great. Our staff operates out of that office. It's kind of centrally located between the Cape and Boston, so we can service a lot of our clients. But my wife and I and my two daughters and my dog live on the Cape. We live right in Falmouth, which is right next to Mashpee, obviously, and driving to Plymouth every day is if I don't need to is not ideal, especially in the summer when you deal with bridge traffic and things
Mhm.
like that. And so it's really nice for me to be able to have somewhere that I can come into that's not my home, right? Because houses are crazy these days with COVID and
Yeah.
kids home and stuff, but
Mm,
still very close to home. I mean, I
mm,
could go home for lunch if I wanted to, right? But I
mhm,
don't. But it saves me probably an hour a day. And then the other thing I like about it is, I think just from a social perspective, the other people that work in Cape Space, they don't work for my same company. So it's not as though I'm ever going to get caught, somebody pulls me in and needs to talk to me about some problem that's happening or something for an hour that's unexpected. But I
mhm,
do have like social interaction with people. But there's a couple
mm.
people that sit behind me. We've actually become pretty good friends, and it's nice coming into an office where you see other people, and you don't feel as isolated as you might if it
Mm.
was just like work from home or something like that.
Right. Yeah, that's
It's been
awesome.
nice. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So, guys, Casey has a dedicated desk membership, which obviously gives him his own desk in our business lounge. So, if any of you watching are interested in that kind of a membership or just interested in exploring any kind of membership with us, I'd encourage you to visit capespace.com. So, Casey, moving on to our kind of rapid fire fun
Yeah.
little Q&A. You ready?
You sure? Yep.
So, what would you say is your favorite hobby?
Yeah, I'm a big and again, this is one of those things where COVID has sort of forced us to change a bit. I've really gotten into hiking. Hiking might be giving myself too much credit. They're really outdoor walks in the woods.
Uh-huh.
But I've really gotten into just getting out, getting into the woods, exercising. I like to bike a lot, but I like to be physically active as much as possible.
Nice. Do you have like a favorite trail or you're just kind of going wherever?
I go wherever, and because it's really fun because my job takes me to different places where we have investment properties, or where we manage investment properties.
Mhm.
There's all these trails all over the place that like you wouldn't know about unless you looked for them. And I have an
Mhm.
app called All Trails that, if I'm out and I've got an hour between meetings, I might pop up All Trails and find out there's a 3 mile path that goes around a lake or something in Taunton, and I'll go check that out. So it's fun. I get to see all these different little parks and nature preserves and things, and get some exercise in while I'm at it as well.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah.
Let's see. What are you currently binge watching or reading?
Yeah, so my wife will make fun of me because I am, for some reason, I'm terrible at remembering what happened from one episode to the next. And so binge watching for me, I'm not as much as a binge watcher. I'm a big reader,
Mhm.
and I'm reading right now. I've gotten really into. I was into a Churchill phase for a while, an FDR phase, and now I'm into a Lincoln phase.
Mhm.
Really incredible human being, really interesting stuff. Just finished a book about the Civil War, and right now I'm reading a book called Leadership in Turbulent Times, which is about four past leaders, one of which it is Lincoln. It's really interesting.
Mhm. Yeah, seems like a relevant book for these times too.
It
Yeah.
is. I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Casey, what would you say is your superpower?
What is my superpower? Well, I don't know if it's a superpower. I try to be a super dad, and that's going to sound like really cliche and kind of a lame answer, but
Mhm.
I really think that parenting is a proactive job, for lack of better
Mhm.
terms, and not reactive. And so, I spend a lot of time thinking about proactively how I can be a super dad, and and be involved as much as possible.
No, that's a great superpower to have. That's awesome.
Good, thanks.
Let's see. What's the best advice you've ever gotten?
I think some advice I got that's really come into play with my business. And just a long time ago, my dad said, "Oops, sorry, my earphone came out."
It's okay.
Said, treat others the way that you'd want to be treated or expect to be treated. And I think that's really relevant now. We've got residents that are in tough financial conditions. It's tough for them to make rent at certain times. Residents have maybe their heat goes out or something happens in their apartment, they need to get fixed. And I always teach my staff, and I try to live by this myself. If your heat went out, how would you want that to be handled, right? You'd probably want somebody to come fix it expeditiously.
Mhm.
And so so I think that's just really important thing to live by.
Absolutely. For sure. I'd agree. And lastly here, Casey, so we're in the thick of the holiday season now. Just reflecting back on past years of holidays, what's the best gift you've ever gotten?
Yeah, well, this is going to sound funny. My wife actually bought me a goat,
Actual live goat.
an actual live goat. She
Oh
bought
my
me a
gosh.
goat. Yeah, and so that was probably the best present. We named her Nanny, and she lives with us at the house, and they make great pets. You just gotta treat them right and have the right setup for
Yeah. No, I've met someone who has like the goats come in that, like she has goats and they come in her house and
them. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
like dogs. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Well, Casey, thank you so much again for joining me. Before I let you go, if people want to learn more about you and your business, how can they reach you?
Yeah, absolutely. Our website's pmiplymouth.com, and
Mhm.
it stands for Property Management Inc. Plymouth.com. And or just my email is Casey at pmiplymouth.com. But we would love to help if anyone has questions on rental properties or is looking for a rental or anything else. We'd be glad to help and happy to answer any questions that we
Mhm.
can.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, and this has been awesome, Casey.
Thanks for having me, Haley. I'll see you soon.
Yep. See ya.
All
Bye,
right. Bye.
everybody.
Bye, guys.